Hi everyone, my name is Kelly. So today I'm going to show you how to adjust or kind of touch up your hair. So if you ever had those period of time that you got your hair cut, like say in January, and then by March, start getting flat, but you still love to have that length and you don't want to cut it any shorter, but you just want to make the hair less heavy or just kind of take off some of like the dead ends by yourself. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I apologize for not uploading a lot of videos lately, because to record a video is very easy, but to edit them, honestly, it takes me forever, especially when I'm not a computer genius, when doing computer is not my strength. So editing video is one of the most dreadful things that I have to do, and so therefore I do make a lot of videos. It's just that I have a hard time uploading them because I don't have time to edit them. So when I do have a chance to edit them, I will do so. So don't worry. I did videos to answer some of your questions that you left me. I didn't forget, but again, I haven't been able to edit them, so that's why they have been delayed. I just started a new dentist job recently, so working like 7 days a week does really take a toll on me, so I only have like evenings or mornings before I go to work to do videos. But I'll try to manage and do videos for you guys, because I really appreciate you guys for watching my channel and helping me raise awareness for my cause and funds for my charity. So I really appreciate that. So this is my hair. It's getting a bit flat and I don't want to lose the length, which is in a lot of cases, a lot of you who have long hair love your length to death. You don't want to take off anything but just very little, and I'm saying like 1/4 of an inch or even 1/8 of an inch. So when you go to a hairstylist and have them giving you a trim but it end up to be like 5 inches off, it does deteriorate you from going to see a hairstylist. So I'm going to show you how to touch it up at home. And by me saying this, no offense to any hairstylist, because this is just what clients tells me when they come to my salon, saying that they're afraid to go and get their hair cut because every time they grow an inch, a hairstylist will cut off 3 inches. So I totally know how you feel, and this video is going to help you save those every bit of inch in your hair, but just give it more lift. So I tried this technique yesterday a little bit. I used my hair as a guinea pig to test out stuff and all that. So yesterday I tried this and I cut off like 1/8 of an inch so that I can still have enough length to show you guys if I need to do a video on it. So I will follow the same guideline that I did yesterday so that you can see. So when you watch my video, if your hair is one length, then just follow the angle that I do. Every time I say over direct, meaning the head is curved in a round shape. So let's say this side, okay, is technically have a bit of a curve. So when I were to comb the hair like this, and I over direct the hair, meaning I'm preserving the length. So when you over direct, make sure your head is still straight, but your hand is just over direct. So when you over direct, this piece here is actually the piece up here, and the piece down here is the ends of the hair. So when you cut and you over direct, you just want to cut from this area to here. You don't want to cut here if you're trying to preserve the length. So again, for those of you who want me to repeat it, just so it's more understanding, it'll probably take you about 2 to 3 times watching this video just to make sense of what I'm saying. But once you get it, it's totally easy and understandable. So say this is your head, so it's in a curvature, correct? So when you over direct, or when you want to leave the length and you don't want to cut the length, but you just want to cut the interior of the hair so the hair is not heavy, you can have long hair. So having long hair as the length is different from having one length hair. Some people love one length hair, to each his own, but one length hair can get very heavy and flat on top. So that's why you can have layers in the interior of the hair, which is this, okay? The outline of the hair can still be long. Does that make sense? So let's say you have hair one length. So every strand of hair is one length, okay? So when you have it like that, the top will be very heavy and it looks flat, and down here looks very full because it's one length. So in order to give volume up here, you need to transfer all that weight out. So by doing so, you add layers or texture into the interior of the hair, but you still keep the length on the outline. So when you want to keep the length, you try to over direct the hair. So say your head is like this, keep your head straight, don't follow. As you over direct the hair, don't follow the direction. Keep your head straight. So let's say I part my section. So I always suggest you to part your hair in slices, like a pizza, in slices. Once you do, okay, you are going to over direct, meaning comb, use a comb to hold the hair like this. Then you're gonna use two of your fingers to hold the hair, okay, like that. And the comb will help you over direct the hair. See how my head is still straight? So when I over direct, this hair that I'm holding that is near to my knuckles is actually the length down here. The part that is out where my nails are the hair up here. So when you over direct, you want to not cut here or just trim here very little. So if you were to trim this very little bit and then cut more from here to here. So the shorter you go here will be determined how short it is up here. So you're gonna do that for all the way through. So let's say at the back, okay, randomly I'm just going to take a section like this, okay. I'm going to comb it, and when I over direct it, I'm gonna use the comb to help me hold the hair, because sometimes you cannot hold it with all of your fingers. So you're going to over direct it to the front like this. So once you have it like this, now you need to understand that this here is actually the length of your hair down here, and this that you're holding closer to your nails is where the top part is. So if you don't want to cut off the length, then just cut just a little bit there and then cut more into here depending on how short you want your layers to be. Does that make sense? And you will do that for all around the hair. So meaning, always keep your head straight. If you're taking panels from here, you're going to over direct to this side. If you're taking panels from here, you're going to over direct to this side. And if it's the back, you forward to the front. So basically, it's going the opposite, way of what it is. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So as long as you understand that, then you're good to go. Once you cut it, always use a mirror like this, okay, to check the back. It's best that you check every step of the way so that you don't go scissor happy. And I truly emphasize, cut less, cut 1/8 of an inch. Cut a little bit and just keep cutting more so that you get the momentum, you get used to it, so that next time when you do it, it's a lot easier for you. So you can use your hair as practice. Don't cut it like 4 or 5 inches off every time, because then you'll be cutting too much. So once you cut, use the mirror to kind of check the back. So right now I'm actually standing in front of a long mirror that I have by the wall. So I'm using this so it can reflect, so I can see where I'm cutting, okay? So when you cut the hair, another thing is that a lot of us do have layers in your hair, but because it's not styled, that's why you don't see it. So for example, my hair right now, when I move my hair, you see a lot of layers moving, okay? But because my hair is more straight today, that's why you don't see the actual layers in the hair. But once I set it in hot rollers or I style it, you will see the layers more defined. So a lot of time, you come home from the hair salon and you're like, how come there's no layers in my hair after the next day you wash it? It is because you didn't style it. So hair is hair if you don't style it, but when you style it, the style of the cut will come out. So I'm going to do the demo of what I'm talking about. So in this case, I love the length that I have. I just want to cut more movement around here before I put on my hair extensions. As you all know, I love my long comb. So this one has the tighter teeth and this one have the more wider teeth. So this is a really good comb for you to get. I do have extra of these stuff, and I do have a lot of hair stuff that I would like to do a contest for. So if you guys are into winning stuff, you know, hair stuff that I have, leave me a comment below. Let me know if it's something that interests you guys, and I can do a contest for you guys to win these. The comb is important, okay? It's long. It's about 10 inches long, I think. And then this is the shear that I'm using. So this is my favorite cutting shear. Is the Migato brand, the one that I told you was $1,100. Yeah, $1,100. I know it's expensive, but honestly, it's been with me for the past 12 years, and you know what? It's still going strong, and the more I use it, the better it gets. So in my situation, it's worth it, right? But for you, you can just get like $100, a pair of scissors at your beauty supply store is good enough. But it's important for you to get a good carbon comb. This comb is great because whatever heat you put on it, it doesn't melt. So very good comb, and it's good quality, right? So I would suggest those of you who love long hair, or just like cutting your own hair at home, or you just can't seem to trust a hairstylist near you, then invest yourself in some good tools. So, okay, the one that I'm using today is the 7-inch, okay, cutting shears. So the cutting shears is like a straight blade, and I like to use the long one just because it's easy for me to do point cutting techniques, okay? But usually the one that you would get in the store would be probably the 5-inch shorter one. That is okay too, but I find that if you're gonna invest, might as well invest in a good long one. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the outline of my hair. So let's say it's been 5 months and my hair has split ends, and you know, the thing is, your hair under the microscope, or if you were to take a strand of hair and look at it really, really closely under the microscope, so hair is like scales on the roof of your house. So it has layers. So at the beginning of the strand of hair, which is where the roots, it's very intact, it's very healthy. As it wear and tear, that scales, you know, kind of breaks off. That's why it's getting thinner. And sometimes if you look at your hair carefully, you're gonna see split ends. And sometimes you would even see knotted. So you would, you know, run your hand through your hair like this, and you would feel a knot. So when you come to that situation, it's best to cut it off, because if you were to rip it off, it would just snap the hair, and the hair split into half, and that's where the split end travel up the hair shaft, causing tangles and brassy looking and frizzy looking, so a bunch of problems. So I highly recommend for you to trim the ends of your hair 4 to 6 weeks. Every 4 to 6 weeks, just give it a trim, even 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, just a little bit does help it to grow faster. Those of you who suffer from hair cuts that are too short, I know it's hard, but you know, it's you know, it is what it is, and try to grow it, keep it healthy. And you know, if you cut it, you know, regularly, a little bit, it will help to stimulate the hair, and the hair will grow faster. So back to the tutorial. So first I'm going to part the hair in half like this, okay? So I'm going to comb the hair bottom up. Whenever you come across a big knot, please don't yank the hair. Try to detangle it with your hand. Like, be very gentle with your hair, especially if it's chemically treated, because you can easily break the hair. So first, what I'm going to do is going to cut the perimeter. So I'm going to part the hair in half from the back like this, straight down, and I'm just going to cut it straight across. So the bottom, I want it to be a little fuller, so I'm not going to cut it deep. I'm just going to do soft point cutting, okay? So hold it straight down like this, and I'm just going to trim it. Make sure you're trimming it short point cutting. So by me cutting it short point cutting, it still gives me movement, but not too wispy ends. If you really want a blunt, then you can just go right across like this. Okay, make sure it's even. You can cut it straight across like this. But since I wanted to have a little movement, I'm just going to do small little point cutting. If your hair is very thick and fuller, then you can go deeper point cutting. So the deeper the point cutting you go into, the more softer the ends. The more smaller strokes or the more blunt you cut it, the thicker it is on the bottom. So I just trim a very slightly at the ends for the dryness. Now I'm going to use the comb, okay, to gather all the hair. This is the reason why you need a long comb. To gather all the hair like this. And I'm just going to blunt cut the layers. So basically, I'm bringing the hair forward. This I'm following what I have from yesterday, but if you did not have layers and it's one length, what you could do is that you could hold the hair like this, and then you can just slide cut your layers down, and you will see what it means. When you try this, you will see what I mean, that it will give you layers. So if you're cutting your hair from one length, then you can hold it like this technique and just cut it down and cut it little at a time. And as you see the layer form, then you can cut some more if you wanted to. So again, if you have one length hair, then you're gonna hold it like this, and then you kind of point cut it gently to get that long layers, framing face kind of look. But if you already have layers in it and you're just trimming it, then you can just go any direction. So what I'm doing is just seeing where there are split ends, and I'm just trimming it. Okay, so I am cutting it blunt, meaning I'm not going little stroke, but I'm actually cutting it blunt like this. Is because I want to have the thickness around the outline of the hair. Okay, so when you have your hair that's a little bit stripy looking, this would be the technique for you to use to help make the outline of the hair look a bit more fuller. So cut as many times as you need, okay, because you know what you like best. So you can cut it a little bit, or you can go back the next day, up to you. And it can be as angle or as low as you want. So I like the hair framing my face from here, so I start a little higher. But if you want it to start down here because you feel more comfortable having longer layers, then that's okay too. You can always adjust the length of your haircut. Just take my video as a guideline to show you how the technique is. But once you understand the technique, then you can definitely adjust it to what fits you best. So same thing over here. So it's important to hold all the hair, okay? So if your hair was one length, you would hold your comb and kind of like slide your comb down like this, just to give it a trim, okay? And kind of just slide it and cut it like that. And then let it go. See how much layer, and then you can always re-comb it back and cut it some more. So since I already have my guideline and I'm just cutting it to make it healthy, then I can just go this direction because it's easier for you to see, okay? So if you hold it like this, okay? So I'm holding it like this, okay? I can see it better by cutting it an upward direction like this. Whereas if I were to hold it like this, I can't really see, but if you can see it, then you can cut it. So I'm using more of a blunt technique, just create more fullness or thicker layers. because sometimes people like to have layers, but they don't like to have that too feathery layer. They like to have that more, you know, blunt layers. So you would cut more straight. If you want more wispy or softer layers, then you could go into point cutting. So normally people who have fine hair like me or low density, you would do more of a blunt technique. Those who have medium to thick hair, then you can do more point cutting. And those of you who have really thick hair and you really want to take that weight off, then you can go deeper into the point cutting to make the ends more softer. So one more time, I'm just going to cut off a little bit more of the perimeter. Keep your head straight when you're cutting the layers in the front, because you want to have the layers going towards your face. Because if you cut to angle going this way, then you're going to have short piece here and it won't be as full. So I like to bring the hair forward like this and cut the layers so that the layers kind of fall into my face. If I hold it like this and slide cut like that, then it's going to go into a very deep V, which is fine, but then I'll lose my length up here. So just keep that in mind. So now that the outline of my hair is good, I'm going to cut the interior. So part the hair in half like this. So at this point, I'm going to part my hair in the middle just so that I cut it even on both sides, and then I can just flip it either way. So after I cut the outline of my hair, I do not want to cut any more wispy at the bottom. So if you look at my hair right now, okay, I want to keep the weight down here, but take off the weight up here so that the hair can lift for more volume. Because right now, there's a lot of weight here and it makes this go flat. So I'm going to show you how to section. So when you section the hair, by you leaving the rest of this down, you have preserved that volume up there. All you're cutting is the area right here, okay? And trust me, it'll look connected. It wouldn't look like, you know, short here and then long here. It wouldn't. So what I would do, for example, I'm going to comb my hair straight like this. Okay, then I'm going to feel my head. So here's the top of my head, and I'm going to try to feel it. And then I'm going to draw like a diamond shape, but trying to still keep my outline. Okay, then I'm just going to grab this. So it looks like this from the back. So I will keep this and not touch this so that it's preserved with this section, okay? So since I have it in my hand, I'm going to comb it over directed, meaning I'm going to bring it forward. This may be hard, but just take your time. Try to hold all this in the hair and then have it tightly hold with your two fingers and then bring this forward to the top. Make sure you try to leave a bit of space like this so that when you cut it, okay, you cut it point cut. The reason why I'm point cutting is because I want to create volume. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. If you're worried about this, then just cut a little bit like this. But what you can cut more is cut here, which is by the nails, to make it shorter so that you can get more lift. But if you cut here, this is where you cut the length, because you need to preserve this length so that it blends with the length that you left down here. So I try to just preserve that length, not cut it, but just cut into it. So I'm not cutting the length off, I'm just cutting it to make it lighter. Okay, so I can cut a bit more when I'm here because I want the top part to be a little shorter so that I have some volume. Once I cut it, try to hold it, and I'm telling you, your finger is going to feel a little sore at the beginning, but once you get used to it, you'll be okay. So once you cut that, you're going to try one more time just to make sure it's even. And let's say if some of it falls down, it's okay. Don't stress out. It'll blend anyway. Okay, so I'm leaving this part because I'm happy with the front. I'm just cutting the back of the head on the top area just to create some volume on the back. So hold it to the front like this, and then just double check if I need to cut more. Okay, so this is me taking the weight off and not the length, or not as much. So this is where the top is. So now I'm going to let this down, and you can see this is the top, this is going to be the bottom. See that? See how when you slide the fingers down, this last part is where my length is? So that's the reason why I didn't cut much of the bottom, so that it would blend in with my ends right here. Once you have that, use a mirror like this to double check if you're happy with. So see, by me giving it a little trim, it adds more volume, or it's less heavy. Okay, so when I style my hair with a round brush or with the hot rollers, it'll give some volume to here. And yet I still have my length. It looks on the side. So you see how it's a bit more evened out, and I'm not stuck with like a flat head because it's not long. Now that it has, you know, nice volume and layers in the interior of the hair, it gives the hair more body. Now that when you style it and you blow dry it, you're gonna get really nice lifted volume. It doesn't look so flat like this. Okay, so you can definitely trim your hair in the meantime of seeing a hairstylist, and still keep the shape really nicely, and you don't lose your length either. So you can do the same thing with the bangs. Too heavy, you do the same thing. So you're gonna, what I would do is I would section the hair like this into slices. Over, keep your head straight. Make sure you don't follow the hair like that, okay? Because then you're technically not over directing. So keep the head straight, over direct the hair. Remember what I said? This is the length, don't cut that, just cut here. So depending on how much shorter or light you want to make it, you can cut it as much as you like. So you can just trim like this, and then cut more into here. And then let it down, kind of play with it and see if you like it, and then move on to the next section. So by you doing this, you're basically blending everything together, so nothing's going to be out of place. So straight hair, over direct, like that. So over direct like this. See, this was where I cut before, and this is the length. So, you know, now I'm just trying to connect them so that they look a bit more blended. And I'm not touching the length, which is here. See, right here is the length. I'm not touching that. So it should look like an angle like this, which means when you let this down, you have shorter layer here, okay? And then when you let it down, the length is right there, which is here. And then you can do that for the rest of the hair. Just cross check the hair to make sure everything is even. So bring this forward because it's from the back, and then just blend in what you need to blend. Bringing it forward like this. So hold with the comb, use my 2 fingers, put in between, and over direct the hair to the front like this. And then just cut what you feel you need it. Okay? And then around here. So as I get to this side, I'm going to over direct the hair to this side. So from here, over direct to this side, and then just cut off what you need. And if you feel like you need to point cut, then you can. Okay? Then let that down. And then continue to the rest of the hair. So what you did before with the top part, you already created a guideline. So all you're doing now is just blending the top to the bottom. Okay? So over direct. See? See here? So all I'm doing is just trying to blend it on an angle. So this is the length of the hair. Don't cut too much of that. And just try to blend in from the top. So this is considered as the top. This is the bottom. So when I let it down, see? Okay? And then just follow through for the rest of the hair. So as you can see, I did the outline first so that I determine the length. So whatever hair does fall out, just let it fall. Okay? So just clean up. So make sure you hold the hair very tight so it doesn't slide or slip. So once you're done that, always check the mirror, okay? So after you get a haircut, even just a trim, like a ½ an inch or a ¼ of an inch, the hair feels so smooth after. So never underestimate the power of a hair trim. Even a ¼ of an inch make the hair feel so much softer, make it feels more shinier, and it looks shinier because you're cutting off all of that split ends. The hair becomes totally different. And I strongly suggest you to cut your hair when you style it. So this is just me, you know, round brushing it, just like smoothing it out, or you can put in hot rollers. Please don't cut your hair when it's still frizzy or when it's naturally wavy or curly, because you can't see what you're doing. And try not to cut your hair when it's wet, because you will tend to cut more than you need to. When you have it dried and have it smooth and straightened out like this, you can literally see where your split ends is, and you can actually see where you need to trim. If it was wet and it was wavy and frizzy, you can't see it. So if you're cutting your hair at home, the best way and the best recommendation I can give you is cut it dry. Cut it when it's in this kind of state, either flat iron or blow dry with a round brush that is really smooth, so that you can actually check the hair, see as you're cutting it, so you're not cutting it too much. So I am happy with my haircut. So this is like a little trim that I'm doing, and I do this every 4 to 6 weeks. You guys always ask me, Kelly, how come my hair looks so healthy? I color it all the time, and why does it look the way it does? Honestly, it's not healthy. It's dry, it's frizzy. If I don't style it, it looks like a frizz ball, and that's just the nature of coloring your hair. But once I style it, it looks really nice and shiny. And also, I cut my hair every 4 to 6 weeks, even just like 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. That little tip of the end of the hair off and nice and healthy makes a huge difference, and you will notice your hair will grow a lot healthier and grow a lot faster if you do this. So I'm happy with my hair. Okay, so I like this kind of like, you know, layer kind of look with the hair. And you know, I did this last night. If you guys want to see this tutorial how I cut my fringe with these nice layers, please let me know as well, and I'll do a separate video on showing you how to achieve this at the front if you don't like to have it so, you know, flat or straight on your face. You can definitely keep the front long, but just add in movement and layers into it, and it looks really nice when you're styling. Or even when you put it up, you have some pieces falling down like this. It looks really cute too. So I tend to keep my long fringe around this area, just so that it's not too heavy on my face, but yet it's not too short that it bothers my face or it bothers my eye. So even when I put in a ponytail, you can see that since it's layered correctly, it gives it a nice ponytail and it's not too heavy at the bottom. So then when you put it up, it looks cute as well. Okay? And sometimes when the hair gets very frizzy, I like to twist it around my hands like this and try to smooth it out. So that is it for my tutorial. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Again, all of you, my subscribers or who are just watching this video, I create this channel to raise awareness for human trafficking and child sex slavery, and as well as I want to raise money for my charity. Every year I go back to poor countries to build water wells, homes, or sponsoring a child to go to school. I strongly believe that the best way to get people out of poverty, giving children a better life, is education. So when you guys subscribe to my channel, I get paid on YouTube. All of that money goes towards my charity, and I do a mission trip every year, and I do post videos. So if you do want to see what I've been doing, you can check my previous video. I go every year, once a year, and I've been doing this since 2009. So I think it's about 9-10 years I've been doing this, and honestly it's a passion for me. It makes me feel very rewarded to do what I do, and I feel very lucky. I don't feel that I'm doing charity. I don't feel like I'm helping others, but I feel that I'm privileged. I have a blessing to help these people, and I feel useful. I feel that I was put on this world for a purpose, or I have a meaning to my life, and this is what I'm passionate about. So therefore, when you guys subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos, you're helping me raise awareness for my charity, as well as you're helping me raise funds for my cause. So I appreciate all of your support. I cannot do this journey without you, and you guys been so supportive for me all these years, and I can't thank you enough. So I hope that I continue to have your support, and I'll try to do more videos to educate you and help you to do your hair at home, or balloons, or makeup. So again, thank you so much for watching. I know it is a very long video, so since I'm teaching you or showing you, I want to be very thorough. I want you to understand. I want you to watch my video and cut your hair the way you want it. Cut it so that you have the knowledge, knowing how to cut it, so that when you cut it, you will say, look in the mirror and say, wow, I love my hair. And that makes me feel so good inside. So thank you so much for watching this long video. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you do find it helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and help me raise funds and awareness for my charity. Until next time, bye everyone. Thank you. Mwah.